Hello and welcome to the National Spectrum Consortium's Spotlight Series. I'm Sal D'Itri, I'm the chairman of the consortium. Spotlight Series are some 5-minute interviews we're doing with NSC members talking about things like 5G technology and spectrum innovation. Now let me introduce today's guest, Laurent Perraud. He's the CEO, founder, and CTO of Abside Networks. Our theme today is private 5G networks. Laurent, before we dive into today's topic, first, thanks for joining me and tell us a little bit about your thoughts and how you got started founding Abside Networks and what you all do every day.
Sal, thanks for having me on. So I founded Abside in 2012 with the idea to work globally in the private networking area. But on a daily basis, I manage two sides of one business today. One side is based on a long-term partnership with Loon, a former Google X project, now its own company within Alphabet. And at this very moment, at 70,000 feet above Africa, our 4G remote radio head designs are flying and serving public consumers in Kenya as part of the Loon system.
Oh, that's an incredible mission.
It's the Loon mission of connecting the unconnected is something that we're really proud of to be part of it. The other side of the business is our 4G and 5G product line of RANs and UEs built in the US for the US government and used in private networks supported by NTIA spectrum. Every day we leverage technical synergies between these two activities to design specific 4G and 5G products for specific applications.
So as someone who's, on one side helping to, as you say, connect the unconnected in the commercial world, and then also helping build private networks for NTIA, what are some of the challenges and opportunities you see for the Department of Defense and really the public sector in implementing a private 5G?
Right. The first challenge is to build products that are tailored to DoD mission sets. DoD has been trying to use 3GPP technologies directly off the shelf for more than 20 years now with limited success. And as we have already proven it with Loon and our federal customers, our RAN and UE solutions do not quite resemble a commercial RAN or commercial cell phones. DoD products focusing on DoD missions should also not resemble commercial RANs or commercial cell phones. The second challenge is to make the DoD system spectrally resilient. This requires very specific RF front-end designs capable of both addressing contested bands and but also providing wide spectrum coverage. Well, most commercial RANs are designed to operate in one or two uncontested bands. The third one is to grow an ecosystem of companies which can focus on building mission-focused products. It is quite a challenge when there is no operator to drive key technology or to provide a long-term market view. We made great progress, however, in the last 2 years in attracting key 5G suppliers to this NTIA market.
So you talked about just now bringing in suppliers and things to address the market and some of the challenges there. Why is that? Why do you see the key differences between implementing a private 5G system or a public 5G system?
Right. In the very specific context of solutions for NTIA spectrum, one major difference is the cohabitation and co-location with legacy systems. 5G has features to cohabit with 4G, but operation in the public commercial spectrum bands are still very well coordinated. For private system, you need to challenge quite a few RF assumptions and parameters. This is why we cannot design our product based on chip vendor reference designs for commercial bands. We had to go one level deeper in the 4G and 5G system engineering for our products. Some of our design parameters are also directly derived from the DARPA WINAN program that our core team participated in.
One of the things that strikes me as, since you're a U.S. manufacturer, is how the flexibility that comes by being a U.S. manufacturer has allowed you to grow and to serve these particular markets, U.S. manufacturing is a key part of network security. And there's been a lot of discussion about zero trust architectures. But what else do you think DoD should be thinking about in terms of overall 5G and 4G network security?
So I think the initial focus was correct from the government and the NSC about securing procurement. US-built RANs and UEs, with all the technology being in the hand of a US company, is possible. We and other companies such as Parallel Wireless are proving it now. As an example, our stack vendors are also ready to open their source code for review by government entities. The second part of securing a network is having the network always on. And spectrum resilience is again key. A DoD system cannot be rendered inoperable because one band is jammed by very low-cost commercial jammer. We have some great experiences with DARPA programs to bring to the 5G table in this regard. The third point is DoD has to keep some amount of dedicated spectrum where they can further control access to the network, to a 5G network. The spectrum sharing concept needs to embrace the diversity of 4 distinct types of spectrum: FCC-based spectrum, NTIA-ruled spectrum, and bidirectionally shared, FCC to NTIA, NTIA to FCC. Each of these spectrum types can bring different benefits to different DoD missions.
Yeah, we have time for one last question, Laurent. Given that you are a U.S. manufacturer, you're deeply involved in 4G and 5G development. We've barely, I think, scratched the surface on the applications and use cases of 5G. There are some now that are floating around, but where do you see sort of future application of 5G here in the United States? And what do you see as some of the key components bringing that together?
Right, we're very much looking forward for niche private 5G telecommunication markets that we can't even dream of right now. The standard is so rich that applications for DoD can go to go to the hugs, for instance, sensors and on the FOB case, tactical, back at home, satisfying train like you fight type of doctrines. But all this niche market also that we're looking forward to see coming through can be exciting because it can be the breeding ground of a new set of independent OEM and really help balance an overly consolidated 5G industry today.
Well, that's all the time we have today, Laurent. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today. For those who have more questions for Laurent Perraud, feel free to reach out to him at Abside or reach out to us here at the National Spectrum Consortium. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe.